What's up, everybody? This is PVD Horror. My name is Dave. I'm here to give you guys a quick review of the new British horror film called The Moor. This is Chris Cronin's feature directorial debut. This stars Sophia Laporta, David Edward Robertson, Elizabeth Dormer Phillips, and Bernard Hill. If you like all things horror and want to get the best horror news, interviews, and reviews,
like, subscribe, and ring that bell to follow us and satisfy all your horror needs.
This film is about, well, it starts off with a young girl named Claire and her friend. Her friend is abducted and murdered. Flash forward to 25 years later, the killer is now served his time and he's due for release. So Claire is approached by Bill, who is the deceased boy's father, and he has a plan to keep the killer behind bars. They enlist the help of a psychic named Eleanor, and Bill convinces them to go to this moor, which he believes is the final resting place of his son. When they get to the moor and they do their searches, we discover that this moor has a dark, dark presence to it, and that there is something very evil going on in this moor. This is a super atmospheric film. It's very dark and what's the best way to put this? I guess I would say it is dreadful in a way that like you assume and you know something bad's going to happen, right? So definitely the tone of this film, if you're in a mood for something upbeat or fast paced, this is not your film. This is actually a very slow burn. I really appreciate like the opening segment where the abduction happens. It just caught me right off the bat right away. I was like, this is really cool. The way it's filmed, the feel of it, and just like to start off with such a heavy moment. The young boy who's captured, you kind of like immediately feel like sorry for him, and yeah, then you see the journey of like grief that everybody experiences and like how it impacts everyone's life. So it's a really interesting story. I was reading a little blurb of Chris Cronin's kind of intention with this film, and I thought that was kind of interesting, and it really kind of fit onto how I felt about it when I left it. So Chris says, my aim with this story was to create an original film set in my home country of Yorkshire. Instead of delving into the fictional murders themselves, I focused on the aftermath and how something so terrible affects lives and relationships. Such a fitting quote based on like how I experienced that film. You definitely see how everybody takes grief differently, and some people just have a really hard time letting go, especially when it's someone that's so close or so special to them. And it ultimately can like ruin how that person experiences relationships beyond that. So, Bill just seems like a very desperate father. He's in despair the whole film. And just you can just tell that he spent these 25 years just kind of living in the loss of his son rather than actually like getting back, on with life, I guess, to say. Not that, you ever kind of fully get on. So, yeah. So, I mean, the film definitely left me with a lot of like interesting thoughts. I will just say, like, the pacing of this film, there is a large portion of this film that seems to kind of like set the story. So like we say slow burns, and I know there's a large population of people out there that really don't like slow burns. If you're one of those people, this might not be a film for you. But if you're into the slow burn because you know the payoff is gonna be there for you in the end, or you feel like there's gonna be a good payoff, this is one that will probably get you. I can usually tolerate a good slow burn, so this one kind of kept me in till the end. The setting of the moor is just amazing, though. Honestly, if I could compare this film, I won't say that it's anything like remotely similar to the plot of it, but like the Blair Witch, just kind of thinking about like you're in this really dark setting, but like we're in a moor. So we're in the UK, and it's just their version of basically being trapped in these like evil woods of the Blair Witch. That's probably a terrible analogy, but this is kind of what I felt after I watched it. So yeah, definitely the Moor is out now. I think you can get it on VOD. It's been released in some theaters, I believe. So but to select screenings, catch it. If you are someone who first off likes awesome accents, if you like dreadful movies, if you like that feeling of dread that you get, if you like slow burns, and if you like good payoffs in the end, you will enjoy this. Explores a lot of like interesting psychological and human topics and themes. So yeah, give it a shot. The Moor, and let us know what you think. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back with another review shortly, but just make sure you get back to us after you check out the Moor and tell us your thoughts. Have a good night.